with 5, 6, 7 employees. That's what makes this country so strong and powerful. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm pretty loud. I probably don't know.
Okay.
Okay. My question is that there's an extremely large trade deficit between the United States and other countries. What can we do to make our products more attractive in other companies to reduce those tariffs that they put on our goods and increase our productivity here at home? I mean, I'm talking on a cell phone that was designed in Finland and made in Mexico. I want an American product.
Boy, that is for sure. And you don't want lead paint on your toys either. And dog food that kills your dog. I mean, that's known as dog poison. You know, if we could feed rat poison to our dogs, they'd be healthier. I mean, it's a problem. And let me tell you, about 1/3 of the imbalance that we have with our foreign friends is for oil. 1/3 is for oil. So one is to say, you know what, we got to get serious about becoming energy independent. That means nuclear power, biodiesel, biofuels. It means using our coal. We got a lot of coal, using our coal, clean coal, liquefying coal. So that's the second thing we can do. But we got to get that 1/3 done. Number two, about 1/3 of our budget, or imbalance rather, our trade imbalance is with China alone. With one country, with China. Now they artificially peg their currency so that their products are at a discount coming here. That's a problem. They also don't protect our patents and our designs. You see, we sell a lot of products over there, but we could sell a lot more if, for instance, when we sell, you know, if you sell a piece of software, you know, a piece of Microsoft software, they can take it and duplicate it and sell it all over the country, and they don't have to pay for it but once. I'm exaggerating a bit, but you got the idea. And they don't protect our intellectual property rights like they need to. And if they did, we'd have a much different situation in our balance of payments with them. So number two, we got to get China to play by the rules. And then number three, all the other nations out there, we got to be more competitive. We got to invest in more technology. We got, you know, ultimately the only way a nation like us leads the world forever economically is by having more innovation, better technology, brighter kids that are pushing harder and harder to be creative and inventive. And if our schools are scoring in the bottom 10 or 25% in the world, then we're not going to stay ahead. If America, as we did last year, we spent more money, American corporations spent more money last year fighting tort claims, lawsuits, than they spent on research and development. So we got to change the way we invest in technology and innovation in our schools. Pardon?
Kill the lawyers.
Yeah, no, that's Shakespeare.
They did it in Germany 400 years ago.
I'm committed to making sure America is competitive. We get ourselves on a track once again to lead the world, because you know what? We can't be the military superpower unless we're also the economic superpower. I'm told, my guy here tells me, you've got to go, I've got to let you go, but I want to say thank you. You are so generous, so kind to spend your time with me this evening. I want to end, for those of you who heard me before, you've heard me mention this story, but I want to underscore just how unique our nation is and how critical it is that we remain strong. And there was a visit by one of the former prime ministers of Israel to my state. This was a fellow named Shimon Peres. He was head of the Liberal Party in Israel, and he was in an apartment, and he was asked by someone there, Mr. Peres, what do you think about the conflict in Iraq? And he said, you know, I need to place that in context before I respond. He said, the context is this: America is unique in the history of the world. He said, in the history of the world, whenever there's been war, the nation that wins takes land from the nation that loses, because land has been the source of value on the planet from the beginning of time. He said, one nation in history, and this during the last century, laid down hundreds of thousands of lives and took no land. No land from Germany, no land from Japan, no land from Korea. Colin Powell, by the way, in his book said the only land we took was enough land to bury our dead. This is a unique nation. This nation will fight for liberty and freedom for ourselves, for our children, for our grandchildren. It is essential to the future of this land and our people and the people of the world that this land remains strong. And that's why I'm fighting to make sure we strengthen our families and have a strong economy that leads the world instead of lags the world. And why I'm fighting to make sure our military is the strongest as well. Come join me in this campaign. I know Washington doesn't like to change. Washington does not like to change, but they're going to have to get used to it, because we're coming. And we're going to change Washington and make America strong.